There's a moment in life, a quiet moment, when everything around you seems loud, chaotic, uncertain, but something inside you whispers a truth you've ignored for too long. The world doesn't shape you. You shape the world you see. And that's the first lesson you need to remember. Albert Einstein once said that the most important decision you will ever make is simple. Do you live in a friendly universe or a hostile one? Not because the universe changes, but because you do. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. I want you to picture this. You're standing in your living room, power goes out, total darkness. You're holding your car keys and in the confusion, you drop them. You get down on your knees searching, but everything is black. You can't see a thing. Then you look outside and notice the streetlights are still on. So you walk out to the street and you start searching for your keys in the light. It sounds ridiculous, right? But isn't that exactly what we do in life? Our problems, our fears, our wounds, our insecurities, they live inside us. But we go looking for the solution outside, in people, in circumstances, in distractions, in anything that keeps us from facing the darkness we carry. We want someone else to fix what's broken in us. We want the world to change before we change ourselves. But here's the truth most people don't want to hear. Your life will not change until you do. It's like going to a doctor, listing every one of your symptoms. The stress, the anger, the frustration, the exhaustion. And the doctor nods, writes 5 prescriptions, then hands each one to someone else in your life. One for your mother-in-law, one for your neighbor, one for your coworker, one for your boss, one for your friend, because that's how most people live, expecting someone else to heal a pain that's inside them. But nothing changes until you take responsibility for the only thing you will ever truly own: your mind, your choices, your reactions, your thoughts. And that brings us to the second lesson. A lesson most people resist with their entire heart. There are no justified resentments. You may not like that. You may disagree. But hear me out. Someone hurt you. Someone lied to you. Someone betrayed you, abandoned you, disappointed you, humiliated you. And you feel like you have the right to carry resentment. But resentment is poison. Not to them, to you. A snake bite doesn't kill anyone. It's the venom that flows afterward. The part you keep inside that destroys you. Holding on to anger doesn't make you strong. Letting go doesn't make you weak, it makes you free. And you can never build a powerful life while carrying weak emotions. Now listen carefully. You become what you think about. 7 words that can rewrite your destiny. What you allow to live in your mind will eventually live in your life. Think about fear. And fear grows. Think about doubts, and doubts become chains. Think about resentment, and bitterness buries you alive. But think about growth, think about purpose, think about possibility, and your entire world shifts. That's why you must protect your mind like you protect your home. You would never open the doors of your house and say, anyone can come in, take whatever you want, right? So why do you do that with your thoughts? Why do you let the news, social media, strangers, criticism, negativity walk into your mind and rearrange the furniture of your soul? You must choose what gets to live up there. And to do that, you need the third lesson. Have a mind that's open to everything and attached to nothing. Most people walk around looking for reasons to be offended. They're addicted to outrage, to judgment, to negativity. Every day, they find a new reason to be upset. A comment, a tweet, a stranger's opinion, a small inconvenience. Their whole life becomes a battlefield of imagined enemies. And here's the sad truth. You can't live a powerful life if you're easily offended. Strong people don't waste time being triggered by the world. They're too busy building their own. When someone disagrees with them, they don't attack. They simply think, that's an interesting point of view. And they move on. Because their energy is reserved for something bigger. Their purpose. And your purpose? That's the next lesson. The one too many people ignore until it's too late. Don't die with your music still inside you. Every single one of us has something. A calling, a gift, a dream, a path. Something only we can bring into this world. But most people silence that music. They're scared. They're unsure. They're waiting for permission. They're waiting for the right time, the right moment, the perfect situation. And then life passes. And they never start. Leo Tolstoy wrote a line that should shake your soul. What if my whole life has been wrong? Imagine standing at the end of your life and realizing you never lived the way your heart begged you to live. You played it safe. You hid your gifts. You ignored your potential. You listened to fear instead of courage. But you be out there watching this video right now, you don't have to end your life with that question. Your music is still inside you, and it's calling. Maybe you want to build something. Maybe you want to start something. Maybe you want to leave something behind. Maybe you want to change your body, your mindset, your career, your future. Maybe you want to love again after being broken. Maybe you want to travel. Maybe you want to finally trust yourself. Whatever it is, each one of you, it's yours. It's waiting. It's possible. If you're willing to stop searching under the streetlight and start searching inside yourself, because that's where the keys to your life have always been. This is your reminder. Your life changes the moment you decide to see it differently. There comes a time in your life when you have to stop running, not from people, not from problems, but from yourself. Because the hardest battle you will ever fight is the one inside your own mind. And that's the next lesson you must remember. Your life is always moving in the direction of your strongest thoughts. You don't rise to your goals. You fall to the level of your beliefs. And most people don't fail because they're untalented or unlucky. They fail because deep inside, they don't believe they deserve more. They carry stories from their childhood. Voices from people who doubted them. Pain from people who abandoned them. Fear from moments that broke them. These old wounds become invisible cages. So even when opportunities appear, they hesitate. They shrink. They sabotage themselves. Not because the world is against them, but because their mind is. Your mind can be a prison, or it can be your freedom. And the moment you decide to rewrite your inner story, everything in your life begins to shift. But here's the truth. Most people never rewrite anything. They replay. They relive. They repeat. They replay the same memories. Relive the same mistakes. Repeat the same patterns. Not because they want to, but because the mind becomes addicted to what's familiar, even when it's painful. Let me tell you something powerful. You cannot heal in the same environment that hurt you, especially when that environment is inside your head. So here's the next lesson. You must learn to sit with your pain instead of running from it. Because pain is not your enemy, pain is your teacher. Pain is the alarm clock of your soul, and every time life hurts you, it's trying to wake you up to something. Maybe it's telling you to stop ignoring your worth. Maybe it's telling you to stop settling for less. Maybe it's reminding you that you were meant for more. Maybe it's forcing you to grow, to transform, to evolve into a version of yourself you haven't met yet. But pain only becomes power if you face it. Think about it. A wound only heals when it's exposed to air and light, not when it's hidden. Your heart works the same way. The truth is, every powerful person you've ever admired, every leader, every creator, every champion, has walked through suffering. But what makes them extraordinary is not that they avoided pain, it's that they used it. They turned heartbreak into wisdom. They turned rejection into direction. They turned fear into focus. They turn struggle into strength. And that brings us to the next lesson. Life isn't happening to you. It's happening for you. Even your worst moments, especially your worst moments, are creating someone stronger inside you. But you won't see that until you stop fighting reality and start learning from it. You see, most people believe they need a perfect life to become their best self. But perfection doesn't create greatness. Struggle does. Pressure does. Challenge does. Chaos does. A diamond is nothing but coal that survived the pressure. So ask yourself, are you surviving your pressure? Or are you letting it break you? Are you using your story? Or are you hiding from it? Because the moment you embrace your struggles, you begin to embrace your power. Now listen to this very carefully. Your future is not created by your past. Your future is created by your decisions. People will tell you that your past defines you. They're wrong. Your past prepares you. Your decisions define you, and every day life gives you two choices. 1, repeat the same patterns. 2, or rise into a new version of yourself. Rising is harder, growing is painful, but staying the same, that's the real suffering. Staying the same keeps you stuck in the same relationship, the same habits, the same fears, the same doubts, the same cycle, and that cycle will follow you to the end of your life if you don't break it. So how do you break it? You start with the next lesson. You must master your inner voice, because that voice, the one that tells you you're not enough, the one that says you can't, the one that whispers you're too late, too weak, too broken, that voice is lying. It's the voice of fear, and fear is a thief. Fear steals opportunities. Fear steals love. Fear steals dreams. Fear steals the life you were meant to live. But courage is a decision. You don't wait to feel brave. You choose bravery even when your hands are shaking. You choose faith even when the path is dark. You choose discipline even when you're tired. You choose to show up even when your mind tells you to quit. Because every time you choose courage, your future gets brighter and your fears get smaller. That's how transformation begins. Not with motivation. Not with inspiration, not with a perfect plan. It begins with one brave decision made again and again and again. You have no idea how powerful you can become once you stop letting fear direct your life. And that brings us to the final lesson of this chapter. The person you become is built in the moments no one sees. Not on your best days, but on your worst. Not when it's easy, but when it's painful. Not when you're confident, but when you're shaking, doubting, questioning everything, and you choose to keep going anyway. Because that's what greatness really is. Not perfection, not talent, not luck. It's persistence, it's resilience. It's refusing to quit. Ever. Your life is yours to build. Your pain is yours to transform. Your future is yours to write, but only if you're willing to fight the battle within you and win. There comes a moment, a single moment, when your life demands something from you. Not excuses, not hesitation, not the same tired stories you've been telling yourself for years. No, your life demands a choice to rise, a choice to evolve. A choice to step into the version of yourself you've avoided, but always dreamed of becoming. And that's the final lesson of this entire message. Your life changes the moment you decide you've had enough. Enough of living small. Enough of questioning your worth. Enough of letting fear run the show. Enough of carrying scars like they're shackles instead of symbols of survival. Because there is a version of you, stronger, wiser, sharper, more focused, that's been waiting patiently behind every excuse you've ever made. And the only thing standing between who you are and who you could be is the story you're willing to rewrite today. So let's rewrite it. Let's begin with this truth. You are not broken. You are becoming. You're not behind. You're in transition. You're not weak. You're transforming. And everything you've gone through, every heartbreak, every disappointment, every failure, every painful night you couldn't sleep, was preparing you for a life far bigger than the one you've been settling for. People will tell you to move on, but they'll never tell you how. Here's how. You stop living in the memory and start living in the possibility. The past is a place of reference, not a place of residence. You can visit it, but you don't unpack your bags there. You don't build a home there. You don't chain your future to a moment that no longer exists. And if you truly want to change your life, you must stop asking, "Why did this happen to me?" and start asking, "What is this preparing me for?" Because everything in your life, even the things you hated, even the moments that almost destroyed you, are preparing you for the person you're meant to become. But to become that person, you must embrace another crucial lesson. No one is coming to save you. No one is coming to build your life for you. But no one can stop you either. You are both the storm and the shelter, the student and the teacher, the masterpiece and the work in progress, the moment you take full responsibility for your life. Not blame, not guilt, not shame, but responsibility, you unlock a level of power that most people will never touch. Responsibility isn't punishment. Responsibility is freedom. Because if your life is your fault, then your life is also your opportunity. Your responsibility means your future is in your hands, and no one else's. Now listen closely. There is a future version of you watching you right now from 5, 10, 20 years ahead. They already lived the life you're dreaming about. They already accomplished the things you're scared to start. They already overcame the struggle you think is impossible. And they are begging you not to quit on yourself today, not to waste another year, not to let another excuse win, not to shrink when the world needs you to rise. Because the world does need you, your strength, your story, your courage, your growth, your wisdom, your voice. Your life is not an accident. You didn't show up here by chance. You were built for a purpose only you can fulfill. And that leads us to the final and most powerful lesson. You must live the life that is calling you, not the life that is comfortable. Comfort destroys dreams. Growth demands discomfort. You'll have to walk alone sometimes. You'll have to cut people off. You'll have to bet on yourself when no one else will. You'll have to sacrifice things that feel good now for a life that will feel incredible later. But I promise you this. You will never regret becoming the strongest version of yourself. You will never regret choosing discipline over distraction. You will never regret choosing purpose over pleasure. You will never regret choosing growth over comfort. And one day, you will look back at this moment, this exact moment, and realize this was the turning point. This was the day you stopped surviving and started living. This was the day you stopped running and started rising. This was the day you finally decided your future was worth fighting for. So listen carefully, because I want these final words to stay with you long after this video ends. You are stronger than your past. You are bigger than your fears. You are greater than your excuses. And the life you were meant to live is waiting for you on the other side of courage. Stand up, breathe deep, look forward, and step into your future with a fire inside you that nothing in this world can extinguish. The world needs the real you, the powerful you, the awakened you, the version of you that refuses to quit. Your next chapter starts now.